Hi there Star Wars collectors and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video. Welcome to episode
69, dudes!
Ask Bossk's Bounty. You know the drill by now. This is the weekly series where you guys ask me questions in the comment section below, and every week I do my very best to answer them. So thank you very much for all your questions again this week, and if you do have a question for next week's episode, be sure to leave it in the comment section below and hopefully your question will be featured. Now, before we do get onto this week's questions, I did want to let you know about a giveaway that's happening on a Discord server that I belong to. The link to that Discord server is in the description below, and it is where I hang out on Discord. I don't go on there too often, but I do have my own sort of like channel on there, I guess, where my videos get posted and people talk about stuff. It's a cool place. It's a really busy place. There's loads of cool people on there and they are doing a giveaway, and it's going to be a giveaway centered around my videos. So all you need to do to enter that giveaway is basically be a subscriber of my channel and also a member of that Discord server. And then there is another link which you will see which goes to the competition, and it's a set of questions about my videos. You just have to maybe watch a couple of my videos and get the answers and then enter yourself in the competition, and there's some really cool prizes. So check that out with the links down below. It's the Discord server link and then the link to the actual competition. And remember, you have to be subscribed to this channel and to the Discord server to enter. And also, I'm at nearly 15,000 subscribers, which is absolutely awesome. I never thought I'd ever get to that many. If you haven't subscribed to this channel already, please do so, because I'm nearly there and it'd be awesome to hit it maybe before the end of the month. I doubt that will happen, but maybe it will. And of course, when I hit 15,000, I'm sure I will do a giveaway myself. But with all that being said, if you do happen to enjoy this video, don't forget to drop a like down below, and let's get straight on to the first question. Dylan Pelly says, question for next week: what figures from the discontinued 5POA lines would you be most interested in seeing get a vintage collection release? I've heard you mention Squidhead a few times, and I've become increasingly interested in some of the Rebels figures, namely the Jedi Temple Guard. Yeah, he's pretty rare, that guy. I ran upon that figure late and have had a hard time spending the money it goes for now with such limited articulation. Yeah, it is a rare figure, that one. It's one of those ones that occasionally in a line, one particular figure is rarer than the others. There's a couple like that in the Rogue One line, isn't there, with like Galen Erso and a couple of the other ones. Admiral Raddus springs to mind. In terms of the 5POA line figures, yeah, I mean, any from the Solo line, Rio, for example, Beckett, we need all of those in the vintage collection, don't we? And of course, yeah, the Rogue Ones, Galen Erso, as I mentioned there, Admiral Raddus, all of those need to be in the vintage collection. Mark Maloney says, hi boss, can you show a card with the 96? I'm only missing 7 of them, but can't remember which ones. So you'll never get a card back that shows the 96, and I'll explain that to you now. So this is a Power of the Force figure. So this came out pretty late before Kenner stopped making them, and this is Collect All 92. So I'm pretty sure that this is the card back where you'll see the most figures on the back, and the reason it's not 96 is because you're missing a few. You're missing the other two R2-D2s, for example. We've only got the pop-up lightsaber. Maybe they didn't want to repeat the figures on there, so the sensor scope and the solid dome R2 aren't on there. You also haven't got the original C-3PO. You've only got the removable limbs C-3PO there. You don't have the original one. And of course, we are missing Yak Face. He's not on there either. And I think, what's that? So that's 94, 95. So we're missing one other figure. Can anyone else in the comments below tell me what that other missing figure is to make the 96? We have 3 questions here, all on the same subject. And this one from Dalevian Seek says, good to see the Anakin Ghost figure this week. Which film version do you think Hasbro will use for this figure if they finish the 96? And the other guys that asked that question are Jago Robbins and Doug Noth. So they're wondering if we're going to get the original Sebastian Shaw, if we're going to get the Hayden Christensen character that they change it to in the special editions. Now, I don't know which one they'll go for, but I really do hope that they go with this one, keeping in with the vintage line. And I think Sebastian Shaw gets overlooked. He was sort of erased from that part of the film. Big shame. I don't agree with the change. I think it should have remained with Sebastian Shaw as the older Anakin Skywalker. Everyone's got their opinions on that, but I think that's how it should have been, and that's the figure I would like when they finish the 96. Seagull 3407 says, hey boss, question for next week. Do you have any recommendations for stands bases for the vintage collection figures? I do indeed. Now, not all of the figures stand on stands because they haven't got the big enough peg holes, and that's becoming more and more apparent these days, which is highly annoying. But I've got 2 versions here. These ones here are like a Chinese copy of the ones that you used to get in like the, was it the Saga Legends lines, where you could put the card in the back. I got those on eBay from China. A big pack of 50 of them for very, very cheap. Or you could go for these like clear stands here. This one here is from Ben Potter on Toys of Tatooine on Facebook. So that's Toys of Tatooine. He's got a Facebook group, Ben Lowgrey Potter, I think he's called. On that group, he's the admin, and he sells packs, multiple packs of big and small of the clear stands, and they fit absolutely perfect with most modern figures. The Confused Cyclops says, if you were in charge of creating future vintage figures, what YouTuber would you put in charge of the Black series and the retro collection, etc.? I'm not really too sure about the retro collection, but in terms of the Black series, I mean, I don't really cover the Black series too much, but the YouTuber that always springs to mind that does very good things with the Black series is the Fwoosh. Very, very popular. Loads of subscribers. I wish I had his subscriber base, and he does a fantastic job. Very, very professional. And yeah, he knows a lot about the Black series. Owen Elkins says, hi Bossk, question for next week. I know you focus on the vintage collection, but I wanted to ask how likely it was that Hasbro will produce a Black series Clone Trooper Phase 2 helmet. I think it's incredibly likely, only because they could just repaint it a few times, couldn't they? They give you the 501st. I could really see them doing the Ahsoka Trooper. That's quite sort of in demand, I would imagine. And if they're going to do that one, then they could easily just do your standard Phase 2. So I think that's a big possibility. Again, it's like anything, I couldn't tell you when that might happen. Hamish Lipscomb says, hey Boss Bounty, question for next week. Would you like to see more 3.75 inch vehicles in the vintage collection? Great video as always. Thank you, Hamish. Absolutely. I was only having this discussion with the guys on the live stream last night. I mentioned about vehicles, creatures, play sets, and the fact that this year we've had none revealed whatsoever, or we haven't even had a rumour at all from Yakface. You'd usually have some kind of rumour of something coming. So that's really strange to me. And yeah, I want more vehicles, and this one would be a perfect one this year. We were talking about it last night. It's been in The Mandalorian. We've got Return of the Jedi figures coming out that rode the speeder bike in the Leia and Paplu. So, you know, this sculpt is perfect for the vintage collection. Come on, Hasbro. Give us one of those in brown and white for The Mandalorian, please. Callum Steele Wyman says, great video, question for next week. I've only just started getting into the hobby as I previously collected Lego Star Wars. Do you ever find yourself wanting to collect different items surrounding Star Wars? Not particularly, no. I don't really collect much else apart from the figures, and that's always been the case really ever since I was little. I do have a lot of Lego Star Wars. Lego is the exception. Lego Star Wars has always interested me ever since it was released in 1999. I've always collected that. Not so much now because I sold a load of it to invest back into vintage Star Wars figures. So yeah, there's nothing really apart from the odd trinket here and there, you know, patches and stickers, but I'm not like I don't collect the helmets, I don't collect the lightsabers, that kind of thing. It's purely the figures for me. Joe Christopher, great video, Tim. Question for next week. If you could have one creature made in the vintage collection, what would it be? Mine is the Rathtar or Mudhorn. That's a very easy one for me, Joe, and it's this guy. And also, Joe, good luck with your PTI exam next week, mate. Bill Pork says, question for next week. I'm going to Galaxy's Edge next month. What are your top 5 suggestions to do or purchases to make while you are there? Bill, I am very jealous of you, my friend. I loved my time at Galaxy's Edge. I thought it was absolutely awesome. Top 5 things. Wow, well, make sure you get on the Rise of the Resistance ride. Loved that. I thought it was brilliant. Obviously, get on the Falcon if you possibly can. In terms of purchases, I didn't make too many purchases, but I would highly recommend going to the Droid Depot and making sure that you get some of the like exclusive droids that are out at that particular time. They're kind of hard to get outside of the park, especially here in the UK. So I would definitely try and pick up those if you possibly can. And while you're there, why not grab some popcorn in a Mouse Droid pop holder, which I love. This thing's great. Get yourself one of those. Jake Kernigan says, hi Tim, love the videos. Thank you, Jake. Do you think Galen Marek / Starkiller will be re-released in the Gaming Greats line? Cheers again. I think he will be re-released. I don't know whether it'll be in the Gaming Greats. It seems to fit, doesn't it? But when I look at the Gaming Greats of the Black series, it seems to be like repainted figures. So they use the existing molds and sculpts that they have for other figures, and they repaint them to make a new figure. I'm not sure if there's actually been a straight repack into the Gaming Greats line. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think there has. It would be an easy choice for them, wouldn't it? Let's just face it. But yeah, whether he'll come out as a normal re-release or as the Gaming Greats, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Martin Footer says, interesting questions, good thoughtful answers. Thank you, Martin. Question for next week. Is it worth getting figures graded? Okay, I'm going to give you my answer to that in a second, but what I will do is that you need to watch the expert on the subject, which is the Action Figure Grader YouTube channel. My friend John, he's got some really great educational videos all about grading, how you get things graded, why you should get things graded, how you send things off to be graded, all that kind of stuff. But in my opinion, I think if you've got a particularly rare item that you want kept in pristine condition, then you could either get yourself an acrylic case or get it graded. And if you've got items which need authenticating, then grading is always the best option. So you might have like a bootleg or a double telescoping lightsaber Luke Skywalker or something, and you want to make sure that that lightsaber is authentic, then you should get it graded. I've sent a load of things off to be graded, which I'm going to be doing a video about the whole process myself, and I have included some of my rarer vintage collections items in there. I wouldn't say that getting, Peasant Anakin from the latest re-release wave is worth getting graded, personally. John might disagree with you, he just gets everything graded. But yeah, for your rare items, the things that need authenticating, I think it's really worth it. Bill Matsos says, great video like always, makes my Sunday every week. Thank you, Bill. Question for next week. I've asked this a few times, maybe this time. Why did Hasbro advertise the Jedi Starfighter from episode 2 on the vintage collection card backs in 2010? The Revenge of the Sith version was actually released. Do we know why? Was it a last minute change? Well, I'm not 100% sure about this, but let's just show what we're talking about here. So there it is. So this is advertising the V19 Torrent, the AT-AP, and Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. And you are correct, Bill, in that it was changed to the Revenge of the Sith version with the droid on there, and it's sort of like it's split in the middle, isn't it? Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right in what you said. I think it was probably just a late change after they'd done the artwork for this. They've, Hasbro have been guilty of making last minute changes before with like the Revan figure and things like that. So if anybody watching knows the real reason for it, why it was changed, then let us know in the comment section below. But I think it was just a case of, it was just changed. But what the reason behind that was, I do not know. Adrian Speedez says, hello Tim, great video as always. Wanted to ask your reaction about Hasbro Pulse extending their market all the way to the UK. Hope it reaches our parts in the world soon. Amen. Philippines. Yeah, I don't really want to comment too much on this at the moment because Hasbro haven't really given us the full details of what that means for the UK market. They have announced that they are opening Hasbro Pulse up to the UK. As I say, we don't really know what that means yet, and when we do and when we get the full information, I will be doing a whole video about it, and I'll be hopefully getting some comments from our trusted retailers like In Demand Toys and Star Action Figures to find out, how it affects them, if it affects them at all, does it affect how they order stuff, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just be patient with that one, and I'll try and find out as much as I can and make a video about it. Rushfan77 says, I've got a question for next week. Do you think that Hasbro will fix Jesse's helmet when he gets put onto a single card? I'd love to say yes, but I doubt it. They have a chance to do it because he is probably going to be the final or last one of the 3 to be released. I think we're going to get Echo first. So they do have time to do it. Depends how long they leave it. They have corrected things in the past when fans have kicked up a fuss about stuff, so they could do. But to me, it seems easy just to do a straight repack, and that'll be unfortunate. Isaac Villa says, do you think we will get any more of the Knights of Ren in the Black Series and Vintage Collection? Because I'm a big fan of their design and weapons. Me too, mate. I'm a big fan of the Knights of Ren. They're a great concept. There's, 5 different ones or 6 different ones. We only have one in the Black Series. We only have a different one in the Vintage Collection. I just think that ship has sailed for the time being. I don't think we're going to be getting anything from the sequel trilogy. And that's the same for Pesto Pizza 2001. Do you think we'll get any more sequel trilogy figures in the Vintage Collection line in the next year or so? Because I'd like an old man Han Solo. Yeah, this is it. I really don't think we will. I think that the spaces that they have got are going to be for finishing the 96 and for the Clone Wars and the Mandalorian, and then for the new properties like like the Book of Boba Fett, for example. That would be awesome if we managed to actually get some figures ahead of time or while the show is airing. Would be perfect. So I just can't see them doing the sequel trilogy. You might get 1 or 2 here or there, but I can't see us getting any of those, you know, en masse. Intelligent Chimp says it's probably too late to change now, but do you think they should have used the Mandalorian logo as it appears in all of the promotional material on the Vintage Collection cardbacks instead of the generic red font? Likewise for the Solo figures. They do it for Empire Strikes Back and the Clone Wars. I think it would have been a nice point of difference. Keen to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I guess they did do that with the Clone Wars, the Empire Strikes Back, didn't they? I don't know. I kind of... The Mandalorian one looks all right to me. I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you the difference apart from, what is it, yellow, the other one? I think the font's still very similar. Yeah, if I'm honest, it really that part of it doesn't really matter to me. I think they look pretty cool the way they are, but I can understand why people would want that sort of synergy. All right then, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in, and also thank you very much for the people that tuned into the live stream last night. I had a blast with Chris from Bantha Skull and the guys from the SWTVC Instagram group. We had a right laugh, loads of banter, and yeah, we're just talking Star Wars Vintage Collection. It was awesome. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you tune into that. Also, don't forget about the giveaway that I mentioned at the beginning of the video on the Discord server. The link is in the description below. Make sure you join that Discord server. And thank you very much for watching, guys, as per usual, and we shall see you on the next one.